Hello, welcome to another edition of Trial by Magus. I'm going to do another Pilot's Academy type thing here, because today we're not going to be looking at a particular aircraft to review. What we are going to be doing with is taking a more in-depth look at the new Enhancement and Calibration crafting system that has been put into the game with patch 2.0.5 and altered in many patches since then. Not much is really known out there about how the system goes, so we're going to take a look at it here and dive in, because there's a couple of things that have become apparent about the system and how it works through blind testing, just regular play of the game, as time goes on. You access this new system through the Service tab up here, which will bring up the optional equipment that has been mounted on your plane. In my case, for the anti-air capable MeP1102 B Drache, the Tier 10 from the German attack aircraft line, I've suggested the stock gyroscopic sight to increase the damage of her forward-firing guns, because for this aircraft she is expected to do the same job as the Russian Ilyushin IL-40P, but where the Ilyushin gets a series of very effective cannons mounted center line, she also has rockets and bombs, and very capable ones at that. The 1102 here gets 4 SC-250s, 250 kilogram bombs, and these 4 30mm cannons in the nose. So I've opted for the gyroscopic sight to improve their damage. Following up with the stock reinforced airframe here, which decreases the rolling maneuverability on this aircraft, which is decent for an attack aircraft, but it's never really been something to write home about. You'll outroll an IL-40, but you know, that's not a hard bar to overcome. It does increase the HP of the aircraft, which is good. You're going to be spending a lot of your time down in the furball. You'll have enemy air defense aircraft taking pot shots at you, the occasional enemy fighter bouncing on you. But most importantly, you will be subject to low-level AA machine gun fire the whole time you're doing your job here. Well, until you blow up said machine guns with either bombs or well-placed cannon shots from your nose. So on that line, in addition to the gyroscopic sight up here, I've modified the performance of my guns using the reinforced bolt carriers, which increases the length of time those guns will fire before they will overheat, at the cost of accuracy, which on a pilot with the marksman skill, as you can see my pilot over here has, combined with the gyroscopic sight, that's not going to be too much of an issue. The guns also all being centrally mounted, having a little bit of inaccuracy is a bit of an advantage when you get into dogfighting other airplanes. The wider your shots, the more likely you'll get some damage off, although getting those narrowly laser-focused high damage hits of multiple shells at once will be more difficult. And then the stock gas operated action modification here, which increases the rate of fire. These guns already fire pretty quickly, but it is not uncommon for me to see enemy aircraft fly between my shells, especially if it's a small and agile aircraft, so the increase of that rate of fire will make that eventuality much less likely to happen. Now let's take a look at it here. The system of enhancement is what you want to take a look at first. This is what improves the quality level of the gear. You start out stock, you move on to improved, and when you move into an improved version of the modification you're working with, you get an additional bonus characteristics. Now this is a random modification that will appear on the modification when you make the improvement. This costs improvement materials, which are items that you gain from playing the game and participating in battles. Right now you can only acquire them through victories, and the amount of parts you get are somewhat tied to the personal points that you earn in said victorious battle. There is talk, however, of these parts being made available for both teams dependent upon the player's performance. I think that would be a good change, because then at least if you're playing the game, you are getting some progression built up, rather than the possibility of spending, you know, an entire session without a victory due to no fault of your own and ending up with no parts. So that right there is a good possible change that may be coming down the pipeline, and I'm looking forward to. Let's enhance this to the improved quality. Oh, and my random was plus 5% chance of inflicting critical damage. That's a decent skill if I'm firing this at, or engaging rather in enemy aircraft. That's really nice, but critical hits against ground targets aren't really a thing, at least not a thing that I'm aware of. So close that out. And you want to enhance each piece of equipment up to the top level of what it can do. It's now at the advanced level and has gained another trait. Plus 10% chance of inflicting critical damage. Things are starting to get a little pricey here, moving on to the ultimate configuration. Okay, enhancement has now been grayed out. Now let's attempt to calibrate it. And think of this as fine-tuning. You don't want to do this while you're on your way up, because the calibration that you get is random, and will, if you get a positive effect out of it, will be decreased as you increase the quality level of the modification in question. So you want to save your calibration attempts until you have gotten yourself built up to the point that you're working with an ultimate piece of gear. Let's see what the roll of the dice gives us here. It's fairly cheap, so calibration is something you can do a lot of. Okay, there we go. Had a bit of Vegas going on there. Actually hit the wrong button earlier and had to go back to where I was before. So you lock yourself up to this level of progression here. I guess you can continue to try. Dropped it all the way down, so cancel out of it. Okay, that's a good way to reset. Get back into here and let's roll the dice again. Okay, we've gotten everything we're going to get out of that. Let's move on to the next piece of equipment and see what happens. Alright, we're going to improve this all the way up. Okay, that is pretty cool right there. Plus 15.7% burst length, minus 10% accuracy. I'll take it. Increased cooldown rate, that's nice. All right. Plus 5% accuracy of forward-firing offensive armament. Neat. A little bit of offset for what I was going on with the bolt carriers there. Plus 5% cooldown rate of forward-firing offensive armament. And plus 10% to the cooldown rate of the forward-firing offensive armament. Excellent. I was told that the chances of this many negatives happening in a row are quite low. Bingo. Now, let's up strength these bombs. Rocket accuracy. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe we should get rid of the optional effects that have nothing to do or ever will with the plane that they're being put on. +5 rocket anything shouldn't even be an option on this aircraft. Well, there we have it. One round of improving all equipment available for a Tier 10 to carry out a very specific job of ground target and low-flying enemy aircraft elimination. We've ended up with an ultimate gyroscopic sight, item level 420. Base ability plus 16% accuracy of forward-firing offensive armament in exchange for minus 14% to pilot's resistance to injuries. Bonus characteristics acquired along the way, a total of plus 15% chance of inflicting critical damage and plus 5% accuracy when firing at moving targets. So a little bit of a buff there on hitting enemy aircraft and a huge increased chances to critically hit them with these cannons, which already do massive amounts of critical damage and hit point damage. Now, ultimate reinforced airframe here. Item level 430 plus 16% to my aircraft's hit point pool in exchange for minus 13.6% to roll maneuverability. Bonus characteristics, 10% resistance to fire, 10% resistance to damage from AA guns, and a further plus 3% hit points to my aircraft health pool. Ultimate reinforced bolt carriers, I have plus 17% burst length of forward-firing offensive armament in exchange for minus 11.1% accuracy of forward-firing offensive armament. Now remember, that was a negative that I was going for because I want to spread out that forward fire a little bit, allowing me to hit more of the spread out soft ground targets when I'm strafing on the ground, and allowing me to more easily hit maneuvering enemy aircraft. The side bonuses for this one were plus 10% cooldown rate of forward-firing offensive armament, a total of 15% when you add the additional plus 5 from the second trait, and plus 2% to the rate of forward-firing offensive armament. So that gave me a little 2% increase to my rate of fire, which doubles up nicely with the other weapon mod I put on here, which is the gas-operated action, which increases my rate of fire of forward-firing offensive armament by 13.1%. Accuracy decreased by 14.2%. So there is a pretty good amount of accuracy nerf here between the two. That's going to be something that I'm glad I'm offsetting with my pilot ability and the scope. The bonus abilities from this one are plus 15% to the cooldown rate of my forward-firing weapons and a 5% accuracy boost. So the accuracy negative from this run right here is right around 9%. And then finally we have the strengthened hard points for my optional bombs here, my outboard weapons. plus 16% to my bomb reload speed. That's very nice. Decreased my cruise speed by 5%. Maximum speed with boost activated, also decreased by 5%. Bonus characteristics. 5% rock hero accuracy was useless. 5% bombing accuracy, that's okay. And plus 1% maximum speed with boost activated. That was a nice little offset. So there we go. Now we're going to take a look at a battle with the 1102B in specialist configuration with fully enhanced and calibrated gear to at least a level of 420. Let's see what happens. Good hunting.
In the IL-40P and 0 TS again. Well, straight to the middle. Alright, I'm heading straight to the middle. Where are you headed?
That's where I'm going.
Alright.
You are approaching the front line. Off we go.
Oh, bullshit. Roger. I'm gonna... shit. Oh, shit. Sorry buddy, I got an LA-15 on my tail. I'm dead. The thing about this monster is that the moment someone sees you and slashes your tail, you're dead. Do you need help? I see someone on you.
It's an IL-40B. I'm out turn.
Roger. And where were you, Mr. Bot, when I needed you to shoot that stupid LA-15 off my bloody tail? Alright, I'm gonna see if I can cap this thing. Also, someone's on my bloody tail. Oh well.
Alright, 0 Tears is staying in the middle. I'm on him.
Roger.
Oh, hello. Don't die down there.
No, I'm out of there.
Has reached the target. Enemy objects damaged.
There's a lot of people down in the center. What the hell? Oh well.
Oh, how the hell did they just capture everything? Son of a...
Well, someone tried to bomb kill me.
The enemy is launching rockets at us from the
I don't deal enough damage.
Just need to cap a little bit more here.
Roger. I'm just gonna evacuate because I've got a pissed off ILA 15 on my ass.
Oh, what the hell? Oh! Didn't see the radio antenna, ended up handing him back control of the frickin' rocket.
Yeah, the radio antennas get me all the time. There's a reason I don't play ground attackers.
Usually I can get around them, but I guess I didn't see it.
Yes, it's fine. I'm not doing very well at this game. Well, we got the center. I'm going to go see if I can recapture that garrison there, but there's a lot of red.
Yeah, seeing what's out there. Dimitri. Found Ford Guy Ford, man. I'm on here.
Roger. I'll swat a few of the... There's a multi-roll. I'll swat that guy. J7W3, yeah, I'll get him. Dimitri, IL-40P. I'll boom through him, man.
Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy? Over. We have complete control of the sky. Way to go. Way to go. Victory is close.
Haha! My gunner sniped the F-86 on the way back. Alright.
Nice. This game's over.
Roger.
Well done.